बोले श्री गणपति भगवान की जय। भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय। श्री सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपितजम्बो फलचारुभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम्। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। शंकरं संप्रदं सज्जनानन्ददं शैलकन्यावरं परमरम्यं। शंकरं संप्रदं सज्जनानन्ददं शैलकन्यावरं परमरम्यं। काममदमोचनं ताम्ररसलोचनं वामदेवं भजे भावगम्यं। शंकरं संप्रदम् कर्पूरगौरं शिवं सुन्दरं सच्चिदानन्दकन्दं। सिन्धतं सनकायोगेन्द्रवृन्दारका विष्णुविधिवदन्यचरानं। शंकरं संप्रदम् ब्रह्मकुलवल्लभं सुलभमतिदुर्लभं विकटवेषं विभुं वेदपारं। नौमि करुणाकरं गरलगङ्गा निर्मलं निर्गुणं निर्विकारं। शंकरं संप्रदं सज्जनानन्ददं शैलकन्यावरं परमरम्यं। काममदमोचनं ताम्ररसलोचनं वामदेवं भजे वामगम्यं। शंकरं संप्रदं शंकरं संप्रदं शंकरं संप्रदम्। वन्दे देव मुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवाहननयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करम्। प्रेम से बोलो उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय। My pranam to all of you. On behalf of Bhavani Shankar Mandir, we welcome all of you to Shanti Satsangh this beautiful evening, Thursday evening, when we continue to find peace in our own way. Whatever day you had, I hope you will find the time to continue to be in Satsangh, to let us try in our own way to find peace. This evening, of course, we will take you to Ramayana, to a very interesting discussion. Last night you heard about the great vultures, Kagbasunji educating Garud. But who is this Kagbasunji and why is he so educated enough to give Garudji teachings? We'll learn about that today. But before we do that, friends, we have to, of course, bring our mind to a state in which it is ready, to a state in which it is ready to accept whatever we have. You see, my friends, as we take the seeds that we have purchased or the seeds we have gotten from others, to sow those seeds into the land, to plant them, of course, what will happen? The soil have to be in a certain state. The soil have to be dug up, it has to be molded up, and then you throw the right water. The soil has to be ready with the right temperature and the right exposure in order for these seeds to blossom into trees or to plants. No matter what I throw at you, maybe Ramayana, maybe Bhagavat, maybe Gita, Mahabharata, whatever it is that I throw at you, or I give to you to say this is peace, you will never accept it, or you will never find peace, or you will never find a value in it unless you are prepared. And that is why, while so many of us find peace, or so many of us embrace bliss, my friends, in the same environment, there are many who will never embrace such bliss. And that, my friends, is the key. We have to create the foundation. Creating that foundation is important. You know, I have seen so many times where in the same classroom, or in the same vacation, or in the same trip, or in the same bus, or the same wherever, you have a number of people. Some of them are joyful. I'm not saying they're celebrated, but they're naturally joyful. They're joyful because the breeze is blowing. They're joyful because the sun is shining. When in the same area, some of them are miserable because the sun is shining. Some of them are miserable because the breeze is blowing. You see, we all have different foundations, my friends. To those of you who have managed to create a foundation where no matter what the world gives you, no matter what Kali Yuga gives you, we'll talk about Kali Yuga tonight. No matter what Kali Yuga gives you, and Kali Yuga is going to give you a lot, my friends, you must be prepared with a foundation to embrace it all and still be you in a joyful sense. What is life without joys? What is life without celebration? What is life without bliss? And in order to build this foundation of our life, this 73rd night of Shanti Satsangh, we will sing Hanumanji Chalisa. I want to ask you, if we've been singing Hanumanji Chalisa 73 days consecutively, Hanumanji Jayanti 108 times, and you know, every night we sing 2 times, this thing got to stick with you. I'm sure parts of it stuck with you, or some of it stuck with you. My friends, it is good to have something good stuck with you. Right? It is blessed to have something good stuck with you. Let Hanumanji Chalisa create an imprint in your life so that it will blossom into something very beautiful. Together, everyone. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nij Man Mukur Sudhar Barno Raghuvar Vimal Jasu Jodayak Phalchari Buddhihin Tanu Janike सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या तेहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीश तिन्हो लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमत निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुवेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। ओ हाथ भाद्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कान्हे मूंज जनेऊ साजे।
शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर।
प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे,
रामचंद्र के काज सवारे।
लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए। रघुपति की बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिया भरत संभाई। साहस बदन तुम्हरो यश गावे,
हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे।
सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहीशा। यम
कुबेर दिगपाल चहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा।
तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना।
युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लीलो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेरि मुख माहि, जल्दी लांघि गए अचरज नाहि।
दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते।
राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना।
आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कापे।
भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा।
ओ संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे।
सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, आसु अमृत जीवन फल पावे।
चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है सीधी जगत उजियारा।
साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। आश्र सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता।
राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा।
तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई।
ही सर्व सुख करही
संगत कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीर
ओ
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई
जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंधि महासुख होई
जो यहाँ पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा कोई सेधि साथी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महादेवा की जय नाथ हृदय महादेवा की जय नाथ हृदय महादेवा
पावन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय में बसहु सुरभूप सिया भज रामचंद्र की जय शरणम प्रभु बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय सिया भज रामचंद्र की जय. On behalf of Bhavani Shankar Mandir, all our loving servants, our devotees, our priests, Pandit Ram Prasad ji, Pandit Rajneesh ji, and our executive, we all welcome you. On behalf of my family, welcome to Shanti Satsangh, day number 73. Today, our sponsors. We have a unique sponsor today, and you will see the photos. I'll tell you a little bit about our sponsor. They're from New York, first of all. Behenji Shanti Saw has been texting me every single night since Shanti Satsangh starts. And I mean that in a very good way. This is one lady who, I've never met her, by the way. I don't know her. I don't know her family. I don't know anybody. But she takes care of her mother. And when it is Shanti Satsangh time, she takes the iPod to her mother. Her mother is in the bed and she listens. And she has two cute dolls, by the way, and she dresses them up differently every night. It is so cute. But what she does, she writes on a book every day from the beginning of Shanti Satsang. Either Jai Shri Krishna, or Jai Shri Ram, the whole paper in design. And she'd put day number 70, day number 71, whatever it is now. You'll see just a few pictures. She did this every single day for Shanti Satsang and sends it for us. I've never met this person before, Shanti. I've never met you before, but it is amazing to see the amount of love you have given to our temple and this program. And she reached out and said, you know, Panditji, we would like to, of course, show our gratitude and, of course, perform this good deed of becoming a sponsor one night. You know what happens? I use the word sponsor, but sponsor is a very commercial word, right? It's a very commercial word that we use. There is no fee to sponsor this program. I want to let you know that. And when you click that donate button and you send that money, it goes to our temple's bank account. That is a separate, different thing altogether. Pandit Hardat and Bhavani Shankar Mandir, where money is concerned, we are very different. We're very different. My eyes are like an eagle where it comes to spending money for the temple. To tell you the truth, I raise all the money, and you know there's a selected, trustworthy bunch of people who takes care of it. And to know that every night you can reach out and make a little donation to us. People give anything they can afford. We always appreciate it. And this family from New York, I'm so tremendously moved by your devotion. And I hope Ma, who's listening in bed, I know she listens with her iPad. I hope one day we can meet. God bless all of you for thinking of us, and more so for extending your love. It is difficult to comprehend, you know, how come people you have never met have become so close over, you know, virtually. How we have become so close virtually. Never spoken, talked to these people, but we have become so close. And all of you, from wherever you are, thank you so much for your love and the dedication you've had to you. Not to the satsang, not to the temple, but to you. When you invest 2 hours every night, or however much time we spend sometimes every night to satsang, you are investing it into you. And God bless you, Shanti saw, and all the family members there. Rajmati saw, that's Mataji. Annette saw, Shanti saw, and Sean Prasad of New York. They are giving thanks today for being part of Shanti Satsang. And of course, we know Sister Janet, the sister here at Bhavani Shankar Mandir. So God bless all of you, and may Bhagwan continue to bless all of you and for your thoughtfulness. And for all of you who are watching, thank you all for your kind words to the temple. The temple is fine, our priests are fine, and we can't wait to get back to normalcy under safe conditions, and we will do so when it is required. So God bless all of you. This evening, I will start with a bhajan, and then, of course, Bhumika will sing after that. Bhole, O Bhole, I call upon my Bholenath. Jatadhari, Tripurari, Jatadhari, Tripurari, जग से हो तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाले, जग से है तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाले, भोले ओ भोले, जटाधारी त्रिपुरारी, जटाधारी त्रिपुरारी, जग से हो तुम निराले, हे नाथ डमरू वाले, जग से हो तुम निराले, हे नाथ डमरू वाले, भोले ओ भोले, भोलेनाथ भगवान की जय। माथे पे सोहे तेरे, हे नाथ आधा चंदा, बहती जटा में तेरे, मन मोहती है गंगा। गौरा गणपति संग विराजे, दम 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 रूपाजे, गौरा गणपति संग विराजे, दम 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 रूपाजे, ऐसे हो मत वाले, जग से है तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाले, जग से हो तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाले, अरे भोले ओ भोले, हम भोले। भस्मी रमाए तन पे, पहने मृग की छाला, रहते हो अपनी धुन में, भंगिया का पी के प्याला, कानों में बिच्छू के कुंडल, हाथों में त्रिशूल कमंडल, हाँ कानों में बिच्छू की कुंडल, हाथों में त्रिशूल कमंडल, नाग गले में डाले, जग से है तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाजे, जग से है तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाजे, बोले ओ भोले, तुम ही हो सबके दाता, जग के तुम हो विधाता। देवों में देव भोले, तुम सा नगर न आता। तीनों लोके तुम हो स्वामी, घट घट वासी अंतर्यामी। भोले तीनों लोके के तुम स्वामी, घट घट वासी अंतर्यामी। धाता भोले भाले जग से हो तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाले। जग से है तुम निराले, है नाथ डमरू वाले। भोले ओ भोले जटाधारी त्रिपुरारी, हो जटाधारी त्रिपुरारी। जग से हो तुम निराले, हे नाथ डमरू वाले। जग से हो तुम निराले, हे नाथ डमरू वाले। भोले ओ भोले, भोलेनाथ भगवान की जय। और प्रणाम to Bholenath Bhagwan. And as we prepare for a very beautiful discussion this evening on Ramcharitmanas, please, if you can, share the video to others and let them come on and let us all, have a beautiful evening here, learn about the time we live in. And are we responsible for the time we live in? Are we responsible for what is going on in this world? Maybe, maybe not. We'll learn all about that. We learn about the great vulture Kagbasund, where he got his knowledge from. So Bhumika will sing a beautiful bhajan for you. Afterwards, we'll start with Ram Katha.
बात निहारे घनश्याम, नैना नीर भरे। बात निहारे घनश्याम, नैना नीर भरे। आस करे दिन रे, आस करे दिन रे। नैना नीर भरे। बात निहारी घनश्याम, नैना नीर भरे। जोग ध्यान में चित नहीं लागे, जोग ध्यान में चित नहीं लागे। मन की फिर ही फल फल जागे, मन की फिर ही फल फल जागे। रेनो जगे अभिराम, नैना नीर भरे। बात निहारी घनश्याम, नैना नीर भरे। बांके बिहारी कृष्ण नैना नीर भरे पतित पावन मोहे शरण में लीजो पतित पावन मोहे शरण में लीजो नाथ सखा हरि दर्शन दीजो नाथ सखा हरि दर्शन दीजो लगन लगी तेरे नाम नैना नीर भरे बात निहारी घनश्याम नैना नीर भरे बात निहारी घनश्याम नैना नीर भरे आस करे दिन रे आस करे दिन रे नैना नीर भरे बात निहारी घनश्याम नैना नीर भरे नैना नीर भरे नैना नीर भरे
Last night, we heard about, or we concluded that discussion called Sapta Prashna, or the 7 questions that was posed by Guruji to Kagavasunji. I think I reminded you so many times that when 2 vultures met, they were just immersed in chanting Bhagwan Ram's name. At the end of the discussion, we summarized, and many wondered, how can a vulture by the name of Kagabasund be so intelligent? Guruji, Guruji, the big vulture, he's the vehicle of Bhagwan Narayana. And he goes down to earth and he bows to Bhasunji, and Bhasunji says, Bhasunji, teach me, how could Bhusund, Kagabasund, be so knowledgeable? Who is this? Kagbasund. Tonight that discussion continues, my friends. I want you to really pay attention to this because it is important to learn that we have evolved. We believe in evolution, right? We come from certain life forms and we have become a human being. But that just did not happen because that is how it's supposed to happen. It is not because from aquatic life, Matsya Mavara and so on. It is not because you're born from fish means you're born as a turtle, then as a shark and whatever it is. No. It means that there has to be an attempt or things done by you to elevate yourself in the next birth. Guruji says, Guruji, when he heard about the greatness that Kagbasunji talked about last night, Guruji, Sun bhusund ke vachan suhaye हर्षित खगपति पंख फुलाए नयन नीरमन अति हर्षाना श्री रघुपति प्रताप उरनाना रघुपति प्रताप उरनाना Kagavasund ji, the tears fell from his eyes onto his feathers and he started to just, he was so happy. He was so happy with what was told to him. My friends, and so he spoke to Bhusund. He says, on hearing Bhusunji's delight discourse, Guruji was overjoyed. and his feathers were wet. Tears rushed down his feathers. His soul was flooded with joy as he laid upon his heart the majesty of Sri Ram Bhagwan. When he recalled the delusions and so on he was filled with remorse at the end, and he thought that he had taken an absolute for a mere man. And so, my friends, he asked Bhusunji. He says, Bhusund, who are you? Such an educated vulture, who could you be? And, where did you get all this knowledge from? Kag Bhusunji, was very blessed. He stayed on in this age, my friends. He was very great. So when Garuji inquired from Kag Bhusund, this vulture, who are you? Garud gira sunu harishu kaga boleyu uma param anuraga. Kag Bhusunji says, very good, I will explain to you who I am. I will explain to you how I got here in the first place. Kag Bhusunji rejoiced when he heard these questions because, when you are in a position to give knowledge, when you are in a position to help, what happens? You feel joyful when somebody asks you a question. I've always told you this, and please, this is the way, they say today you have to brand yourself and all this kind of thing. I believe in that, by the way. But I've always, I think since I started my Panditai as a young child, I've always wanted to never be that person where somebody will be afraid to ask a question. I've never given people that impression. No matter how much a long day I had at the temple, or if I'm just walking out and somebody stops and asks me a question, I'll stay and answer them. And no matter what it is, people meet me somewhere, sometimes people find the most awkward places to ask you questions. You take some time and you answer. Because if we present ourselves as people, that people are afraid to ask a question, of course, we may not be able to answer everything there because you can't solve the world's problem in a few seconds, right? Most of the times I say, the temple is an institution, come there and we can figure things out. But to ever give people the impression that you are, you are not, your questions are not worthy or you're too busy to ask your questions. When you give people that kind of impression, what happens, my friends? What happens? People, they feel shut out. They feel shut down. They feel suppressed. That they are afraid to ask you a question. And that's why we are delighted. If someone asks you a question, and there are some questions you take a delight in asking, in answering. When we used to have the question and answer session, you'd write questions and I'll answer. I take delight in that so much. I love that because it gets me, I get act up, and I love it because I help people. That's the whole purpose of this whole thing. So Kag Bhusunji, he was delighted when he was asked the question, who are you? Kag Bhusunji says, on hearing your loving and sensible questions, I recall the great many of my former lives, Kag Bhusunji says. Listen, my son. Kag Bhusunji, he calls Garud his son. Listen, my son, with full and reverent attention, while I'll tell you the whole of my story. I tell you the whole of my story. And now he starts, my friends. He starts. What is the first thing he's going to say? What is the first thing he's going to tell Garuji when he starts to tell his story, my friends? Ki Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
जप तप मख सम दम व्रत दाना जप तप मख सम दम व्रत दाना विरति विवेक जोग विज्ञाना
Ram, Siya Ram,
रघुपति पद प्रेमा, सब कर फल रघुपति पद प्रेमा, तेहि बिनु कोई न पावे क्षेमा। राम
सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
ओ एहि तन राम भगति में पाई, एहि तन राम भगति में पाई, तातो मोहि ममता अधिकाई। राम सिया
राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
ओ जेहि ते कछु निज स्वार्थ होई, जेहि ते कछु नित स्वार्थ होई, तेहि पर ममता कर सब कोई। राम
सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
राम सिया राम जय जय राम,
राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
राम सिया राम जय जय राम,
राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
Kagbasunji starts to narrate his life, who he was previously and how did he get such knowledge? How did he get all this knowledge? There's some children, I don't know, some children, sometimes at such a young age, they have such blessings. They can do things that nobody can do. Children, they can move in a certain way without being thought about it. They can recite certain things. They have knowledge about certain things, and adults look at them with, with surprise. How could they do all of this? My friends, this, when we say something is gifted, have you ever heard that term before? This is a gifted child. I have news for you today, my friends. I have news for you today. This thing that you call gifted, Hindus have to be a little bit more elevated when you say gifted. Because nothing that you have is really gifted to you. A child, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, or whatever it is, that they are, who are doing miraculous things, that child is not a gifted child. No, that child is not a gifted child. That child was not given that because they sat and did nothing. That's what you call gifted. This pen was gifted to me for my birthday. So just because of my birthday, I just happened to born, and somebody bring a pen and they give it to me. This was gifted to me for my birthday. Right? Just because I was born. This was gifted to me, because of an occasion. That's what a gift is. But what you have is not a gift, is not gifted. You have worked for it. You have worked for it. In the process of creation, many of the things that are rewarded to us are given in different stages of our life. Right? Many of the things that we have are revealed to us in different stages of our life because of what you have done. Because of what you have done. A child's abilities are not gifted to them. They earn this. It is revealed to them at an earlier stage in life, maybe by the surroundings. Why are some children, my friend? Why are some children that much more intelligent than others? I remember these days, man, you go to primary school, boy. I told you a lot about myself, but this is not Hardat Katha, this is Ram Katha, but sometimes you gotta make a little joke. I remember going to primary school, I used to have side mang. You know what side mang? Everybody side mang? Now the entire world know what side mang is. It means you comb over, they call it comb over. You comb it like this side and they have a side thing here. I used to have a side mang. That was like popular then. And coconut oil, heavy on my head. Primary school, most of it I went with the slippers. But that's fine. Right? I had nothing to make up for. Right? When you want to know who all the bright people were in school, when you want to know all the bright people in school, you watch all the coconut oil head them. Bright. Now, I'm actually naturally telling you I was bright in school. Right? You guys are not laughing at my jokes. You don't think this is a good joke? I was actually trying to make joke with them today, but they don't think I'm a joke. They think I'm a comedian. Oh no, they think I'm a joker. Yep. The folks who were wearing the slippers and the coconut oil head, oh, their marks were sky high. My friends, different things are revealed to you different times in life. Children are groomed in a home. They are nurtured differently. Some homes, they are nurtured. An environment is created in where they can feel love. They can study. They can feel free to talk. They can exchange, words and emotions and self, with others and parents and siblings and all that. Right? You create an environment of love. You don't have to teach that child how to love. They will feed from that environment. That child goes and that child blossoms into the world. While there are other environments that create, a setup or a scenario where, the child is not allowed to blossom, the child is suppressed, or the child is not molded with the right and proper things to become a flower. They become a thorn or a weed, right? So the same soil, my friends, that gives the flower, the same soil gives the weeds. The same water that allows a flower to grow, the same flower allows the weed to grow. When the rain falls, it does not distinguish between flowers and weeds. No, it does not distinguish. The rain falls and nurtures everything, and who want grow, grow. And the same thing in our homes. However we nurture, this same love that we can give a child can spoil it, and one can nurture them. Right? Nurture them. And that's what is important in life. Kagbusunji says, what has nurtured me? Or who has nurtured me? Japatap maksam dam vratadana virati vivek yog vigyana. Ramcharitmanas Uttarkand. Sabakar phal raghupati pad prema dehi binu ko na pave chema. He says, Garud, let me start by telling you that prayer, austere penance, sacrifice, subjugation of the mind and the senses, undertaking sacred vows, charity, dispassion, discernment, austerity, the fruit of all these is devotion to Bhagwan Ram's feet. The fruit of all of this is devotion to Bhagwan Ram's feet. All these things you have to have. These are like the water, the soil, the seed, the sunshine, the temperature, everything coming together. Prayer, austere, penance, sacrifice, subjugation of the mind, undertaking of sacred vows. When all these come together and you mix it up all together, it blossoms into bhakti. It blossoms into devotion for Sri Ram's feet. For Sri Ram's feet. My friends, and when Garuji hears this, what happens? We always ask for a recipe in life, right? Our dear sister is online, Sherry Mangal, saying, by the way, Sherry, I follow your recipes. I find them quite healthy. She gives nice recipe and so on Facebook on how to make certain, nice, healthy drinks and so. We all need a recipe for life. Panditji, what is the recipe for this? What is the recipe for that? Well, there's a recipe for devotion. Take out your recipe book. I hope you have your notebook. The recipe for devotion is Japatapa Makka Samadama Vratadana. It is called prayer, austere penance, sacrifice, subjugation of the sense and the mind, undertaking sacred vows, charity, dispassion, discernment, austerity. This is the recipe, my friends, when put together, it gives devotion. Why is devotion important? My friends, devotion is important because to meet Bhagwan Ram, we have to have this requirement. To meet him, To go in a plane, you have to have a passport and a visa, depending where you're going, to meet the Lord. Bhagwan Ram says, everything is important, but what melts my heart, it's called bhakti. Ehitan Ram bhagati mein pai, tato mohi mamata adhikai. It was in this form that I was blessed with devotion to Rama, Kagbasunji is saying, and that is why I have a special liking for it. I have a special liking for it. Everyone loves that. Everyone loves that by means of which he gains his private end. No? Everyone loves that by when he gets it. Everyone loves that means by which he gains his private end. O Garuda, this is a sound of maxim, he says, approved by the Vedas and declared by holy men. This recipe has been declared by the Vedas, that love should be shown even to the meanest if you think it is doing a great good. Ati nichahu sam priti karau jani nij paramahit. Love. Kagbasunji doesn't go and tell Guruji right away where he was from. He gives you the introduction. How he was molded. How he was molded. What made him such an educator, a bird of wisdom. He says that love should be shown even to the meanest if you think it is doing you a great good. Love. We want our children to grow. This is nurturing. This is the recipe for nurturing our children. This is the recipe for allowing them to aim to the skies and fall among the stars. Love, my friends, is not limited to your God alone. Love is not limited to your child. Love is not limited to your sibling. Love is not limited to yourself. Love, my friends, is unlimited to जो हम कहते हैं भगवान प्रेम है. भगवान प्रेम है. God is love, right? And if God is love, God has no distinction between anything. God is available to all. God is always there, ready to serve. Kagbasunji, he talks. Part kit ke hoi te hite. He says that silk, for instance, comes from a worm. Silk comes from a worm. But of it are beautiful silken garments made. Therefore, utterly vile as the worm is, everyone tends it as he would tend his own life. As he would tend his own life for sure. Swarat sat jeev kahu eha manakrama vachan ram pad neha. The real self-interest of every living creature lies in cultivating devotion to the feet of Sri Ram. To the feet of Sri Ram. The real self-interest of everyone lies in cultivating devotion to Bhagwan Sri Ram. That body is the holiest, Kagbasunji is saying. That body is the holiest. That in which one is able to worship Raghubir. That person is holy. That body becomes a temple. If man be hostile to God, though he acquire a body as Brahma, no poet or scholar will praise that person. No poet or scholar will praise that person if he acquired the body of Brahma but refuses Ram. No one will speak well of him. Devotion to Bhagwan Ram first took root in my heart, he says, in his bodily form, and on that account, I hold it supremely dear. Kagbasunji said, though my death, Kagbasunji will only die when he wants to die. Kagbasunji says, although my death depends on my own will, yet I will refuse to quit this body, for the Vedas say, adoration of the Lord is not possible without this body. Adoration of the Lord is not possible. That's why, what are we waiting for, friends? We're waiting to become a scorpion again? Are we waiting to become a cockroach again? Are we waiting to become a snake to bite someone again? No, this adoration, pratama mohi mohi bahut bibhogi, rama bimukh sukh kabahu nasso. Adoration to Bhagwan is not possible without anybody, just this one here. This is not Treta Yuga and so on, where Gajendra was praying and so on. No. This is Kali Yuga, my friends. So, he starts now. He says, in former days, infatuation led me greatly astray. Infatuation led me greatly astray. And I resisted Rama. I never had a restful sleep since I resisted him. Kagbasunji says, I resisted Rama in my previous life, and I never had restful sleep since then. Who is this Rama, my friends? Who is this Ram? Ram naam ati meetha hai, to ga ke dekh le. Aa jaate hai Ram koi bula ke lekh le. Ram Bhagwan's name is so meetha. When you suck tamarind, no matter how it's sweet, your mouth, I know. Anybody ever eat yellow tamarind? My mouth water start leak now. Tamarind sour and salsa and things like that mixed up. No matter how tamarind sweet, when you put it in your mouth, you feel a sour taste. Nah? Ram naam ati meetha hai, but Bhagwan Ram's name is so sweet that whoever chants it, they become sweet as well. Man Bhagwan ka mandir hai, yaha mail na aane dena. This song is saying that Man Bhagwan ka mandir hai, this mind is Bhagwan's abode, the Lord's abode. Yaha mail na aane dena. Don't come and mess up this mind of ours. Hira janma anmol vila is vyart gavana khona. Na? To sheesh diye har milti hai luta ke dekh lo. My friends, why mess things up when we have Hari Bhagwan with us? Let us sing this beautiful song together. Ram naam ati meetha hai, koi ga ke dekh le. Ram naam ati meetha hai, koi ga ke dekh le. Aa jaate hai Ram koi bula ke dekh le. राम नाम अति मीठा है, कोई गा के देख ले। राम नाम अति मीठा है, कोई गा के देख ले। आ जाते हैं राम कोई बुला के देख ले। राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। मन भगवान का मंदिर है, यह मैल न आने देना। हीरा जन्म अनमोल मिला, इस व्यर्थ गवाना देना। मन भगवान का मंदिर है, इस व्यर्थ हीरा जन्म अनमोल मिला, इस व्यर्थ गवाना देना। शीश दिए हर मिलती है, लुटा के देख लो। शीश दिए हर मिलती है, लुटा के देख लो। आ जाते हैं राम कोई बुला के देख लो। राम नाम अति मीठा है, कोई गा के देख ले। आ जाते हैं राम कोई बुला के देख लो। राम हे राम मन में अभिमान भरा, भगवान कहाँ से आए। घर में हो अंधकार भरा, मेहमान कहाँ से आए। जिस घर में अभिमान भरा, भगवान कहाँ से आए। घर में हो अंधकार भरा, मेहमान कहाँ से आए। राम नाम की ज्योत हृदय जला के देख लो। राम नाम की ज्योत हृदय जला के देख लो। आ जाते हैं राम कोई बुला के देख लो। राम नाम अति मीठा है, कोई गा के देख लो। आ जाते हैं राम कोई बुला के देख ले। Ram, Hey Ram, Hey Ram, Hey Ram, Ram, Hey Ram, Hey Ram, Hey Ram. Kagbasunji tells Garud, Garud, in my previous life, I misused my opportunity. I was strayed from Bhagwan Ram. Who am I? He starts to say now. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. 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 तेहि कलियुग को सरपुर जाई जनमत भये सुद्रतनु पाई शिव सेवक मन क्रम अरुबाणी आन देव निंदक अभिमान धन मद मत परम वाचाला उग्र बुद्धि उर्दम्ब विशाला यद्यपि रहे रघुपति रजधानी तदपि न कछु महिमा तब आनी अब जाना मैं अवध प्रभावा निगमागम पुराण अस गावा श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। प्रथम जन्म के चरित अब कहा सुनहि बहगेस सुनु प्रभु पद रति उपजय जाते मितहि कलेस। Kagbasunji says, listen, king of birds, I will tell you my story. In my very first birth, within my memory, he says, I will tell you in my very first birth what happened. In the former age, my Lord, there was an age called Kali Yuga. So he is talking, Kali Yuga had occurred, he was born in Kali Yuga. So there was an age called Kali Yuga. He said that Kali Yuga is called Purabkalpa Ek Prabhu Jug Kali Yuga Malamool. Mal means sins. Now, he says in the former age called Kali Yuga, it was a hotbed of sins, in which men and women were all steeped into unrighteous actions. It was completely contrary to our Vedas. Garuji says, Kagbasunji, what kind of an age is that? Tell me about it. I want to hear about Kali Yuga. Tehi Kali Yuga ko sarpur jai, janmat bhayu sudrat tanu pai. Kagbasunji says, my son, in that Kali Yuga, I was born in the city of Ayodhya. I was born in the city of Ayodhya. In the body of a Shudra. Shudra is the member of the laboring family. Shiva Sevak Manakram Arubani Ana Dev Nindak Abhimani. I was a devotee of Shivaji in thought, in word, and deed. I was a reviler of all other gods and arrogant too. So who was Kagbashund? He was a Shiv Bhakta. So he was Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And if he hears Vishnu Bhagwan's name, Ram, whoever's name, he doesn't care about it. He reviles everything else. That, I will tell you without going further, is a recipe for destruction. That, my friend, is a recipe for destruction. And I think you all know by now, I'm Shiva and Mata Durga, Ma Parvati. They are my prana, my sharira, right? They are my breath and my body. There's no going away with that. That has been there from my parents, from parents. Nobody forced that into me. Said, hey, try like Lord Shiva, okay? Try like Durga. You gotta never ever do that. Never ever do that. Now, how do you know who your Ishtadev is? Anybody ever ask you that question? Who your Ishtadev is? Ishtadev means this one God, where you love all of them, but this one God, this God is your soul. This God is your body. This God is your breath. Atma tvam girijamati sahachara prana shariram groho pujate vishayopabogalachana nidra samadhistati. This God is your everything. How do you know who's your Ishtadev? You certainly do not call your Panditji and say, Panditji, open book and tell me who's my Ishtadev. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if anybody tell you they're going to open book and tell you who your Ishtadev is, it's not a pleasant conversation. It's not a good one. How do you know who's your Ishtadev? How do you know who your soul connects to? How do you know who your body falls to when they see? How do you know when just the name is recited, your hair starts to grow, you start a goosebump? How do you know that is? Certainly not by opening the book. You know what it is? It is when you hear that name, or when you open your eyes and you just see that form, or you hear that name. The minute, my friend, someone says Jagadamba, or someone says Mahadev, they go hand in hand. You can't worship Shiva without Shakti. You can't worship Shakti without Shiva. The minute Mahadev is said, my soul starts to tell my body, something. You find a riveting experience, right? Shankaram Sampradam, we were singing it earlier. Tulsidas ji wrote that. It just brings out, the beauty of soul. And there are some people, they never open book or anything, but just the minute it says Krishna, they start to have a smile. Their soul starts to connect. The minute you say Sri Ram, they start to connect. The minute you say Bajrangbali Bhagavan, they start to light up. Every one of us connect very differently. Every one of us connect very differently to him or her. In my case, my friends. Every one of us. How do you know your Ishtadev? The one who you connect with the most. The one who your body falls for. The one who your soul laments for. Naturally. Not because, Ram Bhagwan is famous, or somebody who like Ram is famous, that means you're going to like Ram. Now walk so. And what happens? If you fall now and you've become, right? If you follow and you've become a worshipper of Bhagwan Mahadev, I'm just going to put the example. Never ever, my friends, be a reviler of the others, or never ever badmouth. Me not like Ram because Shivji, me God. There's no other than Shivji. There's no other than this. There's no other than Durga. Or if you like Bhagwan Ram, me not like the Shivji because he naked skin or whatever. He gets snake all over, he plays, and you're right pan whatever. No. Never ever. Be receptive to everything, my friends. Shiva drohi mama bhagati kahava so nar sapneu moina pava. Ramcharitmanas, Bhagwan Ram says. Linga thapi vidivat kar puja Shiva samana priya mohina duja. He says, I place this lingam here because there is no one greater than Bhagwan Shiva, dearer to me than Shivji. Ram Bhagwan said that. Shiva drohi mama bhagati kahava so nar sapneu moina pava. Bhagwan Ram says, those who show drohi, those who are drohis, who are haters of Shiva, sonar sapneu moina pava, they will never attain me even in their dreams. Aura wake guputmat sabahi kahar karjor, Shankar bhajan binanar bhagatina pavai more. If you want to attain Ram Bhagwan, you know what you have to do? Shankar bhajan binanar bhagatina pavai more. Without devotion and bhajan to Shivji, bhaktina pavai more. Devotion is not possible. That is why Shiv Bhagwan We know whatever puja we do, Ram puja, Hanumanji puja, Krishna puja, Shivji is always there. Bhagwan Mahadev, because he's the link to every one of them. It doesn't mean that you don't like them other one. It means you don't ever do that, my friends. You never ever do that. And so what happened? Kagbasund, in his previous birth, he says, Shiva Sevak Mamakram Aruvani Ana Deva Nindak Abhimani. He was a worshipper of Shiva, but Ana Deva Nindak. He reviled every other. He spoke so ill of every other deity. He was intoxicated with pride. Dhan mad mat param bachala ugra buddhi ur damba visala. Intoxicated with pride of wealth. Kagbasundji says, in my previous birth, I was a savage. I was swollen with arrogance. Even though I lived in Ayodhya, Bhagwan Ram's capital, I had at the time no knowledge of his glory. No knowledge of his glory. My friend, there are many, many parts in India. There are many, many parts in India that we would go and we would do tapasya. We would do tapasya, we would pray. Our Guyanese people, I've seen them, how many trips we have taken there to India now. The minute they go India, they say, Panaji, as soon as we go India, me want just bow and kiss the ground. Me say, better make nobody spit there. You understand? We honor the land so much. They would go and they will, one time, people dig up some dirt and brought it away. Because this is Bhumi, this is their land. Right? This is their land. And what happened, my friends? We go and we do so many things there, and people, the locals there, will watch you and they would like, what are you doing? Kagbasundji says he lived in the capital of Bhagwan Raghunath, which is Ayodhya, but he did not know about Sri Ram. It is only now, he says, I've come to understand the influence of Ayodhya. It has been sung in the Vedas and Puranas and so on. Ayodhya, lekin he did not realize the greatness. He says, Avad prabhav jnana tab prani jap ur basahi ram dhanupani. It is only when Bhagwan Ram, with bow in hand, takes up his abode in a man's heart that he knows the virtue of Ayodhya. Ayodhya. What is the meaning of Ayodhya? The last part of it, Ayodhya. Yodhya means Yuddha. Yuddha means war. Yuddh means war. Ayodhya. A place where there is peace. There is only Shanti. There is no war. That is the meaning of Ayodhya. Ayodhya is not only in India, my friends. Kaha hai Ayodhya? Avad prabhav. Kagbasundji is saying, Avad prabhav jnana tab prani jab var vasahi ram dhanupani. It is only when Ram takes up his bow and arrow in his hands and sit in your heart, then Ayodhya is realized. Then Ayodhya, my friends, is realized. Then one knows the virtue of Ayodhya. Yes, my friends. Those who have gone to India already, they have gone to India already. You must go one day too. But do not, rate yourself low in life if you haven't gone, because you have the ability to bring Ayodhya. You have the ability to bring Ayodhya in you, my friends. And Kagbasundji says, Kalimala grase dharma sab lupt bhaye sadagranth. That in this sinful age of Kali Yuga, stiffed with religion, and all sacred books disappeared, impostors invented, and they took over, my friends. And so he starts to describe now Ayodhya, Kali Yuga, this age that we live in. What did he say, my friends? Ki bhaye log sab moh bas, lobh grase sab karma, sunu harijan gyan nidhi, kaho kuchak kali dharma, वर्ण धर्म नहीं आश्रमचारी, श्रुति विरोध रथ सब नर नारी। द्विज श्रुति वेचक भूत प्रजासन, कोई नहीं मान निगम अनुसार। मार्ग सोई जा कहूँ सोई भावा, पंडित सोई जो गाल बजावा। विद्यारंभ दंभ रत जोई, ताकहु संत कहे सब कोई। सोई सयान जो पर धनहारी, जो कर धम्ब सो बर आचारी। जो कहूँ झूठ मसखरी जाना, कलि जुग सोई गुणवंत बखाना। निराचार जो श्रुति पद त्यागी, कलयुग सोई ज्ञानी सोरागी। जाके नग अरु जटा विशाला, सोई तापस प्रसिद्ध कलिकाला। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। What happens in the age of Kal Yuga? Kagbasunji says that he was influenced by Kal Yuga. Varna dharma nahi ashramachari. Varna dharma. There is no attention paid to the caste system. I have a video on YouTube about the caste system. Please do not judge Hinduism. Hinduism does not have a class system. The West have a class system, middle class, high class, low class. Hinduism has the caste system, which doesn't mean you're higher or lower than anyone. It means we are grouped to do specific work in this life. Look at the video when you're done on YouTube. And by the way, our new video came out today, which is the importance of Hindu temples. Are they still important? Are they still relevant? You know, you have a temple in your home now, you have Panditji come in your home. Why we need Hindu temple? We do need Hindu temple, but you gotta look at the video afterwards. Jehu. Kagbasunji says, in this age of Kali Yuga, no regard is paid for the caste system or what happens in the caste system. What he says, men and women all delight in opposing the precepts of the Vedas. We take delight these days in opposing something that does not fit our lifestyle. The Vedas that are very precious, that are there to guide the human civilization, have now been ignored, my friends, because we have become too modern. Kagbasunji says, Dvij Shruti Vechak Bhuk Prajasan. Dvij means the Brahmana. A Brahmana is called a Dvij, which means a twice born. He was born, or she was born from the mother's womb, and then they take a second birth in the Guru's lap as well. The Brahmanas, they sell the Vedas for a price in this age of Kali Yuga. It's happening all over the place. It's happening all over the place, my friends. You want to read the hand, you got to pay a price. This has a price, that has a price. The Vedas should not be sold, my friends, for a price. Teachings should not be sold for a price. Just like Pandit Hardat has never ever in his life, in his 42 years of life, put a price for anything he did as a Pandit. My friends, Brahmins should not sell our scriptures. They should not sell our Vedas. They should not be a price to do a wedding. They should not be a price to do a yajna. There should not be a price to go to a wake. There should not be a price for that. Because this work that we do, Brahmins, this work that we do is priceless. This that we are doing here, you and I, this is priceless. Set yourself up in such a way that, people will give you more than you will ask for. Why do we, bring ourselves down so low to set a price for God's work when God's work is priceless? Kakbasunji says, this age of Kaljug, Dvijashruti Vechaka Bhupar Prajasan Koi Nahiman Nigam Anusasan. That the Brahmins will set the Vedas and the kings will devour, the rulers will not have care for their subjects. No one will respect the injunctions of this revelation. No one. He says, Marag Soi, Marag means the path. Marag Soi ja kahu, Joi Bhava, Pandit Soi so Gala Bajava. The right course of every individual is any that catches his fancy. What is your right course in life? What is your right course in life? Well, anything that catches our fancy is our right course in life. No guidance. Kali Yuga has brought that darkness to us, where there's no guidance provided or little bit provided. We're so happy that we have virtual guidance happening here, my friends. Virtual guidance happening here. Yeah? Virtual guidance is happening here. Be grateful for it. Like so many of you are. Be grateful for it. The right course of every individual is that they catches whatever fancy them. That will be the right course of their life. And a man of pride and a man of fame will be those who can brag the loudest. As long as you have a big mouth, Kagbasunji says, Pandit Soi jo gal bajava. The gal bajava means the more loud you open your mouth and baal bajava, then you will be considered a pandit. Then you will be considered a pandit. All right, I'm not going to go into that. Mitya ramb dhambarat joi takahu sant kahi sab koi. Whoever launches spurious undertakings and is given over to hypocrisy, everyone will call him a sant. Everyone will call him a saint, my friends. Everyone will call such people a saint. The prudent man in Kali Yuga, soi sayan jo paradhan hari, jo har damb so bar achari. Kaun hai achari? The prudent man in Kali Yuga is he who plunders his neighbor. He who keeps up appearances in an ardent follower of the established uses. He who is given to lying and is clever at joking is called accomplished in this age. The more, you can do all these silly things, the more people will call you accomplished. Very little people care about the investment into these golden pages of Ramayana. Golden pages of Ramayana. You know what happened today? There is nothing wrong. Do you know this? I don't know if you know this. There is nothing wrong if a Panditji, speaks Ramayana today and go and have fun tomorrow and go and dance up everybody's party and do fun and dance in bottle. It's all over Facebook and all over the place in social media. They can go dance, they can go party, they can do all these things. I don't mean decent dancing. And still, Sunday morning be as a spiritual leader. Apparently, there's nothing wrong with that because people have accepted that today. People have accepted that. Our dharma requires a little bit more decency than that. Kagbasunji says, this is going to be the time that we live in. Those who will call yogis, they will be the one who have the biggest mouth. This is the age of Kali Yuga. Everything is ulta. Everything is upside down. This is the age of Kali Yuga. Weddings will be done after the wedded life is already lived. This is Kali Yuga. Everything ulta. Everything is ulta. Everything is done upside down, my friends. A reprobate, a nirachar jo shrutipat tyagi, a tyagi, a noble person who has abandoned the Vedic way will be considered the person of wisdom. Today if you sit down and you say, forget about all these scriptures. If you go and tell anybody, I forget about God and you forget about scriptures and forget about Gita, just let there be, love and let there be peace. You don't need God and you don't need to do pujas and all that. People feel happy about that stuff. People feel happy about that. If I quit all this, I'm telling you, if I leave this today and I go out there and put on some garb or something and I tell people, there's no God, forget about God. You are the God. And if I go with this kind of approach and tell people, Where is the God? Have you ever seen this God? Where is the heaven? Are you seeing the heaven? You are the heaven. You are the one. What will happen? Fame overnight. Money will roll in. You'll be the most famous person. Kagbu Sunji says, those who have abandoned the Vedic way, those who have abandoned the Vedic way, my friends, the Vedic way, I mean Ved, mean the rules, you know, they will be called in this age, they'll be called a saint in this age. They'll be called the Gyanis of this age. But those who have followed this here, my friends, who have followed this, they will not, nothing will be theirs. Well, we've got news for you, my friends, because this is going nowhere. The Vedas have not gone anywhere. How many have come and stole? Mahishasur, Durgam has come and stole the Vedas. So many threats have come. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. The Lord is coming every age for a reason. Parityanaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsapanathaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord says He coming yuge yuge, age after age. Why is He going to come age after age? Because dharma will be at a threat. Kagba Sunji is saying, I was born in that Kali Yuga where all these things happen. Where all these things happen, my friends. And he says, Jo upakari char tinkar gaurav manyateyi manakram vachana labarteyi bakda kalikala mahu. Those who do harm to others are held in great esteem and honor. And those who are babblers in thought, word and deed, they become orators, they become speakers in this Kali Yuga. Men will dance by the tune, he says, of the opposite gender. They become monkeys in this life. Everyone will be addicted to sensuality and greed and passion, and they'll be hostile to God. They'll be hostile to the Brahmanas. They'll be hostile to the Vedas, to the saints. Unfortunately, husband and wife will desert each other. And what will happen, my friends? Married people without any respect. Married people, Saubhagini, they will show so much disrespect to the institution of marriage. My friends, if at all there is any intent of showing disrespect, don't get married. This is called ashram. This is an institution. Marriage is a very respectable institution. Where it's called an institution where we come and learn every day. We come and learn every day, my friends. We learn about our partner every day. We learn about our children every day, our family every day. We learn about this every day. That is why I said to many, my friends, COVID has done well, because it has taught us how to stay together. How to stay together. In my opinion, in my personal experience, I'm happy for the last few weeks, my 10 weeks or however it is, because I've had a chance that I've not had in a long time to really bond with my family, to learn about them, to watch them work, to watch them go to school at home, to have lunch with them, to relax with them, and still we enjoy each other's company. But if you're miserable among your own people, if you're miserable with your own spouse and your own child, institution of marriage is not working. It's not working at all. And that's why we have to cultivate God in our life. What happens, this final chaupai, I will sing. He says, Hare Shishya Jan so nat harahi so gur ghor narak mur parahi. Mat pita balakini bolai ur bhare soi dharma sikkhavai. Badhi sudra dvijan sanham Bharatriya lampat kapat sayane मोह द्रोह ममता लपटाड़े तेय अभिवाणी ज्ञानी नर देखा मैं चरित्र कलियुग कर आपो गए अरु तिन्ह उधारई जे कहु सत मार्ग प्रतिपालई कल्प कल्प भरी एक एक नर का परहि जे दूष ही श्रुति करि कर का। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। हर्षे सिद्ध्यवंत सोन हरे शिष्य धन शोक न हरही। Kagbasunji says, in this age of Kali Yuga that I was born, the Guru robs the people of their money. The Guru robs the people of their money. It's a very sad state when a Guru can do that. If a Guru cannot give the last piece of clothing on their back to the student, if the Guru refuses to give whatever they don't have, if the Guru cannot take darkness out of a child's life or a family's life, that is not a Guru. If a Guru ever demands a fee for helping a student, you see, this is the difference between our system and the West. The West, you go to school, you got to pay. University, primary school, wherever it is, you got to pay. In our Guru Parampara, Guru Vashishta never demanded money from Ram Bhagwan. Guru Vishwamitra never demanded money from Bhagwan Ram. They were given dakshinan and compensated for their life, but they never set a fee because it is priceless. In this age of Kali Yuga, Hare Shishya Dhan Sok Naharai, So Guru Ghor Narak Mau Parai. The Guru will rob their students of their money. And what happened? They will cast their children into the lowest levels of life. Parents call their children together and teach them only the duty of eating, not how to fill the stomachs of others. This, Kagbasunji says, this is what is happening in this life. We are teaching our children how to eat, but we are not teaching them how to allow others to eat. We're not. The other day I told you, the world is today upturning because of a racial incident that happened in America. I condemn that incident, by the way, that particular incident. I think racism has no part in this world that we're living in. Can you deny it exists or not? No. It exists. Here in Canada it exists, in Brampton it exists. All over the place you go, racism exists. There is racism. However, do not be part of it. Do not ever be part of it. I condemn that act that happened there. What happened was wrong. We all know that. There is no debate about that. I don't even want to discuss it. But what I'm saying as well, my friends, there are other things that we are ignoring. There are hundreds and thousands of children who die every single day, many parts of this world, who die every single day because they couldn't put a morsel of food in their mouth. They couldn't. In big countries who can afford billions of US dollars to invest in missiles, children are dying of hunger. That don't make the news to anybody. And very much of us don't pay attention to that. We should have a protest for that. Because I don't believe a child should go to bed hungry belly, much less to die of hunger. Why isn't that a concern for all of us? Right? Why isn't that a concern for the world? It should be a concern for the world. Kagbasunji says, Matu pita balakini bolau udhar bhare so dharma sikhavahi. We teach our children to eat. But we don't teach them to feed. And what happens? We all grow up and the eating reflects in us, and the miserness of feeding others reflects in them as well. Kagbasunji says, this is the life we're living. It's called Kali Yuga. It's called Kali Yuga. Don't blame Kali Yuga for everything that goes wrong in your life, but my friends, take responsibilities to make yourselves better people. Tomorrow night when we come back, we're going to get into the depth of this discussion. And he continues to talk about Kali Yuga, but more so, why was he born like this as Kagbasunji, my friends? Tonight, I want you to understand that the times we're going through are tough, but they were tougher times than this. There was a time when this entire world was dark, when they had no social media. This world was very dark. This world was very challenging. This world was a very treacherous place to live in. But it became a beautiful place again. Kali Yuga is a tough place, but we have each other. We have each other to lean on. We have each other to put our head on and say, you know, we are here for each other. So tonight, my friends, all the things that I've talked about, be opposites of that. Do not ever be a guru. I don't know how much guru will listen to this program, but do not ever be a guru that will take money for helping a child. Do not ever be a priest that will charge a price for anything in life. Do not ever be one who lives in an institution of marriage but disrespects it. Do not ever be one who teaches your children how to eat but not how others should eat. Do not do that, because if we continue to do those things, what will happen? We are living, my friends, we are harnessing Kali Yuga to become more stronger and stronger and stronger. Vrinda will now sing a bhajan, and after that we'll do Hanumanji Chalisa, and we'll wish all of you a blissful evening until tomorrow evening, when we'll come back and we'll continue to educate ourselves with everything.
Pag gungaru bandhya nachi re, pag gungaru bandhya nachi re, nachi re mera nachi re, nachi re mera nachi re, pag gungaru bandhya nachi re, pag gungaru bandhya
Dance to the tunes of Krishna's Basuri. May we all dance every day with the tunes of joy that we create in our own life. Please remain joyful, everybody. Please be happy. At the end of the program, take your dinner, maybe go outside in your backyard if you have one. Sit down and relax and eat. Go to your veranda a little bit. If it's safe. If thief man there outside, no go. Come here, know where you live. You're right. This hour, many parts of the world, come out thief man there outside. So please don't go. But just relax. Celebrate the joy in you. Celebrate the family that you have around you. Have some me time. Me time, which is your time. Have some of that with you. And just be pleasant. Be pleasant, everyone. Be pleasant every moment of the day. And whatever it is that comes, COVID or whoever it will not destroy you. It will not have an impact in you. Celebrate the joy in you. Forget about the troubles of the world. And Hanumanji helps us to do that. I want to say thank you to the Saw family, Rajpati Saw, Mataji, Annette Saw, Shanti Saw, Shan Prasad, New York, giving thanks for being always a part of Shanti Satsangh. God bless you. This is if you can, I can put up the picture there again. This sister in New York, every night she writes number 70, number 71, since starting, of Shanti Satsangh. And I believe they have become so attached. And Ma, in her bed, she listens to Shanti Satsangh on her iPad. So God bless all of you. May you always continue to smile. And Shanti ji, may you continue to send me pictures of the beautiful drawings you did with those cute little dolls. They're so cute. Hope and pray all of you are safe in New York. And to all of you who are watching tonight, Bhagwan's blessings. Tomorrow night we'll continue nice, interesting discussion on Ramcharitmanas with some Devi bhajans and so on. Celebrate a little bit in life and finish off our Friday. We're here every evening, friends. As you know, if you would like to support the temple for one of these nights, you can do so by making a donation online, and you can text me. We do not have any sponsors for Saturday night or Sunday night or Monday night. We're only taking 1 week at a time. Right? So this Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we don't have any sponsors. And when I usually say this, they all come in. So if you can just send me a text and that you want to celebrate something or give thanks or gratitude, whatever it is, we'll do it for you. I don't even look at your what you pay and what you didn't pay. That's up to you, because this is my love for a community, and this is Ramandir's way of reaching out to you. Hanumanji Chalisa, to create and to celebrate the joy in all of us. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nij Man Mukur Sudhar Barno Raghubar Bimal Jasu Chodayak Phal Char Buddhihin Tanu Janike Sumiro Pavan Kumar Bal Buddh Vidya Rehohi Arahu Kare Shavikar Bolo Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस
महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमत निवार सुमत के कंचन पर्वती कानन कंदन कंचन केशा हाथ भद्र कानन कुंज चले शंकर सुवन केसरी तेज प्रताप महाजन धरि सिर दिखावा विकट रूप धरि रंग जनावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहार रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ा तुम प्रिय भरत समुदाय सहस बदन तुम रोयश गाओ अस कई श्रीपति कंदन गावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीस नारद सारद सहित ईसा यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाज कवि कोविद कह सके कहते तुम अवतार सुनी बैठी राम मिलाए राजपद दीना तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण मान लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना युग सहस्त्र योजन परभान लीला त्राहि मधुर पर जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मिल मुकुमार जगति रांगी गई अचर चराई दुर्गम काज जगत में सुगमय व्रत तुमरे थे राम दुआरे तुम रखवार होत न ज्ञान पैसारे सब सुख है तुम्हारी शरण तुम रक्षक काहो को डरना आपन तेज संभालो तीनों लोक हाथ में काबे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासे रोग हरे सब पीर जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट से हनुमान छुड़ा मन क्रम जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाए। जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाए, और देवता चित्तन धरि, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बल बीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सुख पाल पाल जो देव की महासिद्ध होई, जो या हरि हनुमान जी। होय से कि साथे गौरी सा, तुलसीदास सदा जय जय नाथ।
पावन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय में बसहूँ सुरभूप। बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सिया भज रामचंद्र की। शांताकारं भुजगशयनं, पद्मनाभं सुरेशं। विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं, मेघवर्णं शुभांगं। लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं, योगिविरध्यानगम्यं। वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं, सर्वलोकैकनाथं। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव। त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय। मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की, सिया भज रामचंद्र की। राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की। सबको जय जय सीताराम। जय सिया राम एवरीवन। जय राधे श्याम, जय श्री कृष्ण, नमस्ते। Good night to all of you. Please stay safe, stay well, stay happy, stay joyful. Always. Let us now hop and tell everybody good night. Ram Ram, good evening. Jai Shri Krishna, namaste. Sister Pratibha, you're first on. Jai Sitaram. Patsi Mahadev, Sheila Omed, Ivy, Mala, Kavita Satar, Oma Bhagwandin. Jai Sitaram, everyone. Savi, Nirvela Chalu, Nalini, Dolly Rewat, Anian family, Patsi Mahadev, Auntie Shanti from Guyana, Dalip Singh, Lizzie Sarju, Shari Mangal, Roma Balgobin Charan, Kamuram Prasad, Vidya Basiram, Camila Sukwa, Shirley Prasad, New York, Joan Prasad, Gloria Gear. Gloria Gear, you're from Aruba, right? If I remember well. Kavita Satar, Sandra Chadi, Dolly Singh, Present Babaji, Sister Leela, Radha Purai, Tash from Guyana, Radhe Radhe, Baiji Raj and family, Savi, of course, Mala Raghunandan, Sati Samwaru. Thank you for all the kind words, everyone. Auntie Usha, Rich Ramnath and family, Ranjan Gopal. Everybody just hop on to YouTube. There's a new video that came out today on the importance of Hindu temples, because we think a temple is a place we go once a year and things like that. Is it still relevant today that we live in? And subscribe if you like what you like. Subscribe. If you see what you like, hear what you like, subscribe. Free subscription. But it's a beautiful video. You can watch it. Just 13 minutes long. And share it with others as well on YouTube. Jai Sitaram to everyone. Good night and hope all of you are doing well. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Oh, Shanti Sa, that's your sister? Aruba. Oh, awesome. Anyways, good to be with all of you again. Jai Sitaram, and I'll see all of you tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. sharp. Shanti Satsangh.